Are you making wedding guest etiquette mistakes that are embarrassing you without realising it? After analysing the social disasters at Jeff Bezos' $68 million Venice wedding, I've identified 12 etiquette violations that even wealthy celebrities made. Number 9 will shock you. Mistake number 1, Kris Jenner's Guest-Upstaging Leopard print selection. Here's something that comes up often in my consultations: choosing outfits that compete with, rather than complement, the bride and groom's special day, especially when you're a mature woman who should understand sophisticated guest behaviour. This becomes even more critical for women over 50 because we're expected to demonstrate sophisticated understanding of appropriate social behaviour and elegant restraint, and our choices are often scrutinised more intensely than those of younger women. The reality is that as mature women, we often have more expensive wardrobes and access to designer pieces, which can tempt us to make bold fashion statements that are inappropriate for guest roles. My experience with clients has shown me that Kris Jenner's bold leopard print Dolce & Gabbana dress violated the fundamental rule of wedding guest etiquette: never upstage the hosts of the celebration. The bold pattern and attention-grabbing nature of the outfit made her a focal point in photos and conversations when the focus should have been entirely on the celebrating couple. What makes this particularly problematic for women over 50 is that we're often judged more harshly for social missteps. What might be dismissed as youthful exuberance in a younger woman can be criticised as attention-seeking or inappropriate when we make similar choices. Through my work with stylish women, I've learned that wedding guest etiquette becomes even more critical for women over 50 because we're expected to demonstrate the sophisticated social awareness that comes with experience, but we must actually apply that wisdom to our guest behaviour rather than falling into the trap of competing for attention at someone else's celebration. Here's an approach that tends to work. Choose outfits that enhance the celebration's beauty without becoming the centre of attention yourself. When selecting wedding guest attire, ask yourself whether your outfit will photograph well with the wedding party without dominating group photos or drawing focus away from the bride and groom. The visual goal is elegant guest appropriateness that demonstrates your sophisticated understanding of proper wedding etiquette. Mistake number 2. Gayle King's overly casual arrival outfit disaster. Let me share something that might help. Understanding that luxury wedding celebrations require appropriate formality from the moment you arrive until you depart, not just during the main ceremony. This becomes particularly important for women over 50 because we're expected to have the wisdom and experience to understand appropriate dressing for different contexts. And when we get it wrong, it can make us appear out of touch, disrespectful, or lacking in sophisticated judgment. The challenge is that many mature women prioritise comfort over appropriateness, especially when travelling long distances, not realising that every moment of a luxury celebration is potentially photographed and shared. Do you see what I mean when Gayle King arrived wearing casual cargo pants to a $68 million Venice wedding weekend, showing poor understanding of the event's formality level? The problem with Gayle's casual arrival was that it demonstrated poor planning and lack of respect for the host's investment in creating a sophisticated celebration atmosphere. For women over 50, this type of mistake can be particularly damaging to our social reputation because arrival moments set the tone for how we're perceived throughout the entire celebration. I worked with a woman who made similar casual mistakes at formal celebrations. Once we established appropriate attire for every portion of multi-day events, her social confidence improved dramatically, and she received more invitations to high-profile celebrations. The key is understanding that destination luxury weddings involve complex planning and significant expense. This is something that consistently improves your social standing. Research the formality expectations for every aspect of multi-day celebrations, understanding that luxury events require sophisticated attire throughout the entire experience. Pack appropriate formal wear for arrival, departure, and every event component, ensuring you never appear underdressed or disrespectful of the host's efforts. Mistake number 3. Inappropriate social media posting during sacred moments. Here's a different way to think about this, understanding that certain moments during wedding celebrations should be experienced and respected rather than immediately shared on social media platforms. This becomes particularly important for women over 50 because we're expected to demonstrate sophisticated social awareness and respect for privacy boundaries that younger guests might not fully understand. Yet many mature women are newer to social media and may not realise how their posting behaviour can violate the sacred nature of wedding moments. The temptation to document and share special moments can override our judgment about what's appropriate to post and when, especially when we're excited about being included in high-profile celebrations. Let me offer another perspective on digital etiquette. Posting photos or videos during ceremony moments, intimate toasts, or private family interactions violates the sacred nature of these special occasions and can create lasting damage to relationships and reputations. The problem with inappropriate social media posting goes beyond just poor timing. It demonstrates a fundamental misunderstanding of privacy boundaries and the sacred nature of wedding celebrations, especially problematic for women over 50 who should understand the importance of being present in meaningful moments. Additionally, posting without permission can expose other guests to unwanted publicity and can violate the couple's carefully planned media strategy for their celebration. Watch what the most socially aware guests accomplished. They put their phones away during meaningful moments and asked permission before posting any photos that included the couple or other guests, showing respect for privacy and the sanctity of the celebration. Consider that not everyone wants their image shared publicly, especially during emotional or private moments. This is what I've learned through experience works best for wedding social media etiquette. Ask the couple about their preferences for social media sharing before the event, and always prioritise experiencing the moment over documenting it for your followers. When you do share photos, ensure they enhance rather than exploit the celebration, and always tag appropriately while respecting the couple's wishes about publicity. I'm glad you're here learning these sophisticated etiquette principles. If you want more insights like these about elegant social behaviour for women over 50, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. I share professional etiquette secrets regularly that help you avoid these embarrassing mistakes. Now, let's keep going, because the next few tips reveal some truly shocking social errors. Mistake number 4, monopolizing the couple's attention during reception. Here's what I share with my clients. Understanding that wedding receptions require guests to share the couple's time graciously rather than monopolizing their attention for extended conversations or photo sessions. This becomes particularly challenging for women over 50 because we often have longer relationships with the couple and more stories to share. But we must demonstrate social awareness by keeping our interactions appropriately timed and allowing other guests their opportunity to connect with the celebrating couple. The reality is that mature women often feel we have earned extended time with the couple through our long relationships, but this entitlement can actually damage our social standing if we don't exercise appropriate restraint. You know what I mean when certain guests dominated Lauren and Jeff's time during cocktail hour, preventing other guests from offering congratulations and creating awkward social bottlenecks? My clients consistently tell me that the most socially graceful guests keep their interactions with the couple brief and meaningful, allowing everyone to share in the celebration rather than hogging the spotlight for themselves. The problem is that many mature women feel entitled to extended time with the couple because of their longer relationship history, not realizing that monopolizing the host's attention creates problems for other guests. Here's what works reliably for wedding reception etiquette. Limit your initial congratulations to 2 to 3 minutes maximum, allowing other guests their opportunity to connect with the couple throughout the evening. Plan one meaningful comment or memory to share rather than launching into lengthy stories that prevent others from participating. The social goal is demonstrating gracious guest behaviour that enhances rather than monopolizes the couple's celebration experience, showing that you understand the importance of allowing all guests to participate in congratulating and celebrating with the happy couple. If you want extended conversation time, arrange it for after the celebration or during less crowded moments. Mistake number 5, ignoring cultural and religious customs of the venue. Here's something I've noticed through my work with mature women. Failing to research and respect the cultural or religious customs associated with your celebration venue can create embarrassing social situations and demonstrate poor international etiquette. This becomes particularly important for women over 50 because we're expected to have the worldly sophistication and cultural awareness that comes with life experience. And when we make cultural mistakes, it can appear that we're either ignorant or disrespectful of traditions and customs that we should understand and honour. The challenge is that many mature women may have limited international experience but are attending increasingly global celebrations that require cultural sensitivity and awareness. Trust me on this, Venice has specific cultural expectations for formal celebrations, especially those taking place in historic or religious venues that require appropriate respect and behaviour. Here's the thing. I can tell you from experience that the most culturally aware guests researched Venice's social customs and dressed and behaved accordingly, showing sophisticated international etiquette that enhanced their social standing and demonstrated respect for the local culture and traditions. The problem with cultural insensitivity goes beyond personal embarrassment. It can reflect poorly on the couple who invited you and can create uncomfortable situations for other guests who understand and are following appropriate cultural protocols. What I've learned is that destination celebrations require understanding and respecting local customs, especially when attending events in historic or culturally significant locations. Research appropriate behaviour for your venue type, understanding that what's acceptable in casual American settings might be inappropriate in formal European contexts. Your action step is researching your destination's cultural expectations before attending any international celebration, ensuring your behaviour demonstrates sophisticated worldly awareness that enhances rather than detracts from the celebration experience. Consider dress codes, photography restrictions, and behavioural expectations that show respect for the location's cultural significance. Mistake number 6. Inappropriate gift-giving timing and presentation. Here's an approach that gets results. Understanding that gift-giving at luxury weddings requires sophisticated timing and presentation that demonstrates your social awareness and respect for the occasion. This becomes particularly important for women over 50 because we're expected to understand proper gift-giving etiquette and demonstrate the social grace that comes with experience. Yet many mature women make mistakes in gift timing, presentation, or appropriateness that can create awkward situations or additional stress for the celebrating couple. The challenge is that gift-giving customs have evolved significantly, and what was appropriate decades ago may not be suitable for modern luxury celebrations, especially destination weddings that involve complex logistics. This is a principle that consistently works because bringing large unwrapped gifts to the ceremony or reception creates logistical problems and can appear thoughtless or attention-seeking. Here's what I've found works well. The most socially graceful guests either shipped gifts to the couple's home before the wedding or brought small, elegantly wrapped tokens that could be easily managed during the celebration without creating disruption. The problem with inappropriate gift-giving goes beyond just logistics. It can demonstrate poor understanding of modern wedding customs and can create additional work and stress for the couple. Additionally, destination weddings often involve couples who already have established households and may prefer experiences, charitable donations, or other non-traditional gifts that require different presentation strategies. Here's what creates lasting positive impressions. Research the couple's gift preferences and registry information well in advance, choosing thoughtful presents that reflect your relationship and their stated needs. Consider the logistics of destination celebrations when planning your gift-giving strategy, ensuring your choices enhance rather than complicate their special day. The etiquette goal is thoughtful generosity that demonstrates your care for the couple without creating additional stress or complications during their celebration, showing that you understand and prioritize their needs and preferences over traditional expectations that may no longer be practical or appropriate. Mistake number 7. Excessive alcohol consumption leading to inappropriate behavior. Here's what I consistently recommend. Understanding that luxury celebrations require sophisticated self-control and awareness of how alcohol affects your behaviour and social judgment. This becomes particularly critical for women over 50 because alcohol tolerance often changes with age, medications can interact with alcohol in unexpected ways, and our behaviour is often scrutinised more intensely than that of younger guests, making inappropriate alcohol-related behaviour particularly damaging to our reputation and social standing. The reality is that many mature women don't realise how their alcohol tolerance has changed with age, or they may not consider how medications, hormonal changes, or other age-related factors can affect their reaction to alcohol. This is an approach that gets results because several guests at high-profile celebrations have damaged their social reputations through excessive drinking that led to inappropriate comments, behaviour, or social media posts. Here's what I've found works well. The most socially respected guests pace their alcohol consumption throughout long celebrations, ensuring they remain gracious and appropriate throughout the entire event experience. The challenge is that many mature women may not realise how their alcohol tolerance has changed with age, or they may not consider how medications or hormonal changes can affect their reaction to alcohol. Here's what creates lasting social respect. Monitor your alcohol intake carefully during multi-day celebrations, understanding that your behaviour reflects not only on yourself, but on your relationship with the hosts. Consider that luxury celebrations often involve multiple events over several days, requiring sustained appropriate behaviour rather than one-night restraint. The reputation goal is being remembered as a delightful, sophisticated guest rather than someone who required management or caused embarrassment during the celebration, demonstrating the self-control and social grace expected of mature women. Plan your consumption strategy in advance, alternating alcoholic beverages with water and ensuring you eat appropriately to maintain your social grace. Mistake number 8, bringing uninvited guests or making unauthorized +1 assumptions. What I've discovered through my work is that assuming you can bring additional guests to wedding celebrations, especially luxury destination events, creates serious etiquette violations and logistical problems for the hosts. This becomes particularly problematic for women over 50 because we're expected to understand and respect social boundaries and invitation specifications, yet many mature women make assumptions about +1 privileges based on outdated etiquette rules or their relationship with the couple, not realising that modern wedding planning involves complex logistics and budget considerations. The reason this creates problems is that destination weddings involve complex planning, limited venue capacity, and significant per-person costs that make unauthorised additional guests genuinely problematic for the celebrating couple. Watch what the most socially aware guests accomplished. They carefully followed invitation specifications and asked permission well in advance if they had legitimate questions about guest policies, showing respect for the couple's planning efforts and budget considerations. The problem with making unauthorised assumptions goes beyond just logistics. It demonstrates poor understanding of modern wedding planning and can put the couple in the awkward position of having to refuse additional guests or accommodate unexpected attendees at significant expense. This is what I've learned through experience works best for wedding guest etiquette. Treat invitation specifications as firm boundaries rather than starting points for negotiation, understanding that the couple has carefully planned their guest list based on venue capacity, budget, and relationship priorities. If you have questions about guest policies, ask the couple or wedding planner well in advance rather than making assumptions. Your preparation step is carefully reading and following invitation specifications exactly as written, demonstrating respect for the couple's planning efforts and celebration vision while avoiding the social awkwardness of unauthorized guest requests. Consider that destination weddings involve additional complexity and expense that make unauthorized guests particularly problematic. Mistake number 9, inappropriate speech or toast content during formal moments. Watch what I mean about guests who used inappropriate humour, shared embarrassing stories, or made speeches that detracted from rather than enhanced the celebration's elegant atmosphere. This becomes particularly concerning for women over 50 because we're often asked to speak at weddings due to our long relationships with the couple, yet many mature women make the mistake of sharing inappropriate content that's better suited for private conversations than public celebrations, not realising that formal wedding toasts require sophisticated content curation. The temptation for mature women is often to share lengthy memories, offer extensive advice, or include inside jokes that feel meaningful to us but are inappropriate for public consumption, especially at formal celebrations where the content should focus on celebrating the couple's love and future happiness. You know what I mean when certain guests made toasts that included inappropriate jokes, embarrassing personal details, or comments that made other guests uncomfortable during what should have been joyful, celebratory moments. Here's the thing, I can tell you from experience that the most memorable toasts focus on celebrating the couple's love and future happiness, rather than sharing inappropriate stories or attempting humour that might fall flat or offend other guests. The challenge is that women over 50 often have decades of history with the couple, including embarrassing stories or inside jokes that feel meaningful but are inappropriate for public consumption. Additionally, alcohol consumption during celebrations can lower our inhibitions and lead to sharing content that we might normally keep private. What I've learned is that formal wedding celebrations require sophisticated speech content that enhances the celebration's joy and elegance, rather than creating awkward or uncomfortable moments for the couple or other guests. Plan your remarks in advance if you're asked to speak, focusing on positive, appropriate content that celebrates the couple's relationship and future together. The speech goal is contributing to the celebration's joy and elegance through thoughtful, appropriate remarks that honour the couple and enhance the overall experience for all guests. Consider your audience when crafting remarks, ensuring your content is suitable for all ages and relationship types represented at the celebration. Mistake number 10. Poor table manners and dining etiquette. During formal meals, here's what contributes to that polished presence. Demonstrating sophisticated dining etiquette during formal wedding meals, especially at luxury celebrations where proper behaviour is expected and observed. This becomes particularly important for women over 50 because we're expected to have mastered basic social graces and dining protocols, yet many mature women make etiquette mistakes that can be embarrassing and can reflect poorly on their social education and sophistication, especially when dining with international guests or at high-profile celebrations where behaviour is closely observed. The challenge is that formal dining etiquette rules may have evolved since we learned them, and international celebrations may involve different customs and expectations that require research and preparation. This is what gives some women that refined appearance. They understand and practice proper formal dining etiquette that shows respect for the occasion and enhances the overall elegance of the celebration. Here's what creates that sophisticated impression: using proper utensil placement, engaging in appropriate dinner conversation, and following formal dining protocols that demonstrate your social education and respect for the occasion's formality. The challenge for women over 50 is that dining etiquette rules may have evolved since we learned them, and international celebrations may involve different customs and expectations. Here's what supports that elegant reputation. Review formal dining etiquette before attending luxury celebrations, ensuring you're comfortable with proper utensil use, course progression, and table conversation protocols. Consider that formal wedding meals often involve multiple courses, specific service styles, and dining customs that require sophisticated awareness and behaviour. The dining goal is contributing to the celebration's elegant atmosphere through sophisticated table manners that demonstrate your social grace and respect for the occasion's formality. Practice proper posture, utensil handling, and conversation skills that enhance rather than detract from the meal experience for yourself and other guests. What etiquette challenge would you like me to break down next? I read every comment and often get my best video ideas from your questions, especially about social situations that can make or break your reputation at formal events. Mistake number 11. Inappropriate departure timing and thank you protocol. Here's what I've found to be effective. Understanding that departure timing and thank you protocols at luxury weddings require sophisticated social awareness and gracious behaviour that demonstrates respect for the hosts. This becomes particularly important for women over 50 because we're expected to understand proper social timing and gratitude expression. Yet many mature women make mistakes in departure timing that can appear disrespectful or socially awkward, either leaving too early and appearing uninterested in the celebration, or staying too late and creating uncomfortable situations for the couple. The challenge is reading the subtle social cues that indicate appropriate departure timing, especially at multi-day celebrations where different events may have different expectations for guest participation. This is an approach that gets results because leaving too early can appear disrespectful, while staying too late can create awkward situations for the couple who want to transition to private celebration time. Here's what I've found works well. The most socially graceful guests gauge the celebration's natural rhythm and depart at appropriate moments that allow them to thank the hosts graciously without overstaying their welcome or creating departure pressure for other guests. The challenge for women over 50 is understanding the subtle social cues that indicate appropriate departure timing, especially at multi-day celebrations where different events may have different expectations for guest participation and timing. Additionally, luxury celebrations often involve complex logistics for both hosts and guests that require thoughtful coordination and consideration. Here's what creates lasting positive impressions. Plan your departure timing based on the celebration's structure and the couple's apparent energy and preferences. ensuring you express gratitude appropriately without monopolizing their time during final moments. Consider that luxury destination celebrations often involve complex logistics for both hosts and guests that require thoughtful departure coordination. The departure goal is leaving a positive final impression that demonstrates your appreciation for the couple's investment in creating a beautiful celebration experience for their guests. Follow up with appropriate thank you notes or messages within a week of the celebration, expressing specific gratitude for the experience and hospitality. Mistake number 12, failing to respect photography and privacy boundaries. This is something I think every woman should consider. Understanding that luxury wedding celebrations often involve professional photography, privacy concerns, and media considerations that require sophisticated guest awareness and cooperation. This becomes particularly important for women over 50 because we're expected to understand and respect privacy boundaries and professional protocols. Yet many mature women make mistakes with photography etiquette that can interfere with professional documentation or violate the couple's privacy preferences, especially at high-profile celebrations where media attention and security concerns are heightened. This is what I believe could make a difference in your social standing. Respecting the couple's photography preferences, privacy boundaries, and media protocols that protect their celebration from unwanted publicity or inappropriate documentation. Through my work with women like you, I've learned that the most socially respected guests understand and follow photography guidelines, respect private moments, and ask permission before taking or sharing photos that include the couple or other guests. The challenge is that many mature women may not understand modern photography etiquette or may not realise how their photo-taking behaviour can interfere with professional photographers or violate other guests' privacy preferences. Here's something that could be confidence building. Discuss photography preferences with the couple before the celebration, understanding their wishes about professional photography, social media sharing, and privacy protection during intimate moments. Consider that high-profile celebrations often involve security and privacy concerns that require guest cooperation and discretion. This is what I want every woman to remember. Sophisticated guest behaviour includes protecting the couple's privacy and celebration experience through thoughtful, respectful behaviour that enhances rather than exploits their special moments. Respect unplugged ceremony requests, professional photographer boundaries, and the couple's preferences about social media documentation of their special day. You now have 12 powerful strategies to elevate your wedding guest etiquette and avoid the mistakes that even wealthy celebrities made. Pick the 3 most relevant to your social challenges and start implementing them. I'd love to hear your experiences in the comments. Check out the videos on your screen now.